Hello, today I have a question for you. Why are we so interested in crime stories? I've read recently The Valley by Bernard Migneur. Bernard Migneur is today one of the masters of the genre in France. The Valley is the title of his sixth thriller, which takes us to the Pyrenees. A series of murders, absolutely terrifying, macabre scenes. The population doesn't take long to want to organize its own police, a self-defense militia in Lviv, especially since the small town finds itself cut off from the world because of a landslide. The valley is also a reflection of the profound changes and fractures that characterize France today, as the author emphasizes. Violence. Violence at political rallies, terrorism and horrifying workplace shootings bewilder us, but they shouldn't. Traditional approaches to understanding violence seem played out. What we need is an understanding of violence at the level of brain circuitry. Violence, like all human behavior, is controlled by the brain. From the everyday road rage to domestic violence to a suicide bombing, the biology of anger and aggression is the root cause of most violent behavior. Domestic violence can be physical or psychological, and it can affect anyone of any age, gender, race, or sexual orientation. It may include behaviors meant to scare, physically harm or control a partner. And while every relationship is different, domestic violence typically involves an unequal power dynamic in which one partner tries to assert control over the other in a variety of ways. So, why is crime, with its all too frequent ruinously deadly consequences, so intriguing to us all? Today is my question for you. For men, watching shows about crime and murder seems to stir feelings of manliness, a related factor that may prompt an interest in both men and women is that an interest in crime and violence evolved as a way of spotting danger in the environment, for instance rival tribes, animal predators, etc., so as to prepare a defense. Some researchers concluded that the fascination with crime and murder provides an escape from the drudgery of everyday life. These reasons and motives make sense, but at the same time they all ring hollow as a basic driving attraction to the human suffering that accompanies criminal behavior and homicide. To grasp the urge that allows so many of us to tolerate and repeatedly view circumstances that are both fascinating and repugnant requires a deeper dive. Something more elemental is at play. All the research findings about motivation from watching media that showcase crime and murder seem to have a common denominator. All have something to do with a desire to stare into the nature of our human nature. It's a safe way of facing the dark side of the human condition. More sadly, it also offers a psychologically safe way of observing those on-screen characters who act out the dark elements of our nature as we temporarily identify with them at a virtual distance, all while gaining an understanding of something that's part of us that's usually sequestered and unconscious. We've come to realize that our willingness to absorb the tragedy and trauma is a compulsion to face a reality. The difference between the savage and the civilized, the saint and the sinner, the ridiculous and the sublime, is deep yet dubious. And you? What do you think about it?